Greetings. I'm your instructor, Dr. Larry Lowry, and I want to welcome you to Survey of the New Testament. This class is one that is very foundational for your other courses in the New Testament, and I will believe you will be able to glean much needed information for your life, for your personal knowledge, and your ministry. I want to share just a little bit about myself. I'm a person who's been a part of the Church of God of Prophecy basically for all of my life. It's been my roots. I grew up in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, and when I went into the ministry, I started there and then went to various places. Currently, I'm pastoring in Douglasville, Georgia, at the Douglasville, Georgia Church of God of Prophecy, and I've certainly enjoyed my time here thus far. And I've ministered various other places with over 40 years of ministry, and 30 years plus of that has been in pastoral ministry. I'm married to Susan Mounts Lowry, and both of us come from a line of ministers. My grandfather was a minister. I have several other cousins and relatives that are ministers. Susan's father was a minister, a bishop in our church, and we could go on sharing about this, but my roots in the organization run very deep, and I'm very thankful to be a part of this organization. I've been a teacher for several years. I've been teaching for around 25 years on a collegiate level. I've been teaching with St. Leo University, University of Phoenix, PTS, Pentecostal Theological Seminary, and Lee University, and now with Spirit and Life Seminary. I enjoy this aspect of my ministry very much, and I pray that I can be a blessing to you and help you. I've attended and graduated from Lee University, Pentecostal Theological Seminary, and Samford University. And a little tidbit, I was the first Church of God of Prophecy member to graduate from PTS back in the class of 1977 in their second graduating class. So this education has been a long time a part of my life, and I certainly enjoyed it, and I pray I can just impart a little bit to you to help you along life's journey in the ministry. Now, in this class, we have a syllabus that you really need to go over to begin with. In this, you'll find your assignments, your schedule, and other information that is pertinent about the class. You'll need to be sure to take this in. Also, be sure that if you haven't got your text, let me know so we can make adjustments for that. But your text is very important, and you'll be using that for your reading assignments, and they are important. Concerning your assignments, you have weekly assignments that involve your text and the Bible. These are both mandatory for this class. Each week you will have discussion questions. In this, you will post and you will reply twice to other students, and it's important, and there will be sections of your text that you'll be asked to read. Then you will post your comments and reply to those discussion questions that will be listed there. And then also it would be important to reply to two other students or reply twice during this time to others. And what this does, this helps build community. It helps us learn from one another. And I believe it enacts a biblical principle of iron sharpening iron as we interact together. And it really doesn't matter how long you have been a Christian or how short of a time you've been a Christian. Everyone has knowledge and experience and a relationship with Christ that you can add to this class with your life. So feel free to share during this time. And when you reply, please reply more than just well, I agree, or that's a good point, or something like that, very short and really with not any depth. Be sure to reply with some feedback and some interaction with other people. You'll also have reading reflections each week. You'll be assigned certain passages of the Bible to read, and then you'll write a 1 to 2 page paper concerning these Bible readings. The information more in depth is in your material online in the class, and you can read this and you'll find out all about it. Now, in week 1, there is a special assignment for week 1, and it is a welcome and introduction assignment. There are no points for it, but it is a means of us building community, building relationships in our class, and learning from one another. Share a little bit about yourself, your interests, your ministries, where you're from, your career, your goals, your family life, hobbies, whatever you feel like sharing. But this way we can learn more about one another. Some of you may already know each other, but at any rate, this helps us learn more about each other. This is a global class where people can come in from all over the world. And we want to try to connect and communicate with one another, because who knows when we may be ministering together. This is a means of, as in the secular world, of networking, but that's also a great thing to use as a principle in building relationships and in our ministry. So this is important for us, and I want to encourage you, because you never know. Sometime when we gather at the International Assembly, you may be able to meet one of your classmates that you have interacted with and kind of build a relationship with, and I believe it will be a blessing to you. Now, concerning your assignments, it is important to be punctual. There's a reason for deadlines. It's a matter of discipline that you will want to build those times of getting your assignments in on time. But I do want to tell you that it is better to have your assignment in late than not turned in at all. I would rather get some points than no points. Don't use this as an excuse to be late, but do your best to be on time. But realize if for some unforeseen reason arises that you cannot turn your assignment in, because I understand life happens in the ministry. You're not in a classroom setting where you're living on campus and in a dorm room and committed to just learning. And I know life happens sometimes, especially if you're in the ministry. So I want to encourage you, if something arises, communicate with me and let me know, but please don't fail to turn those assignments in. One other little practical tip I'd like to give you concerning your studying time is to let your family know, your coworkers or whoever you may be around, that when you go, designate a certain place and if possible a certain time, that when you go to that place, they will understand that this is your time to study. It's not being selfish, but if they need a glass of water or something to eat, it's time for them they can maybe get it themselves unless they're just a small child. But try to let your family know that this is your time to study and prepare yourself. And by disciplining yourself to do this and committing to learning, the whole family, the whole unit that you are around, they will all benefit by it, and you will be able to be more effective in your study time. Concerning your classroom setup, there on the left column as you look at your class, there's a listing called Dashboard. And on the dashboard, this is a way for you to communicate with me and other students during the class. You can send questions to me, you can make comments, you can share with myself or with others in the class in this dashboard. And it's an important way of keeping connected if you have a question or other things you want to communicate. Communication is important in this class. And if you have something that you need to just personally talk to me about, please feel free to email me. Use the Spirit and Life Seminary email and email me, and I can respond to that as soon as possible. But this is one way of communicating. Now we've kind of laid the foundation, so I want to share with you a little bit about our class in week 1. And it also plays over into week 2, but week 1 is the intertestamental and New Testament historical background and settings of the New Testament chapter. This sounds like a long title, but basically it's the foundation for the background for the writing of the New Testament, preparation for the New Testament being written and formed. And I think this is important to realize, that the New Testament was not something that God just thought, oh, this will be a good idea to do. Jesus has come in and living, and he's died and he's resurrected, and let's write a book about it. No, it was very well planned. The life of Jesus and the writing of the New Testament was very much in the mind of God from the foundation of the world. You see, God does everything in order, including the New Testament. And I want to share with you something, a very important thought. Galatians 4:4 gives us this principle. And Galatians 4:4 says, when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his Son. Of course, the New Testament, the New Covenant, is all about Jesus Christ. The Old Testament concealed Christ. The New Testament reveals Christ. And in the New Testament, we find this revelation of the life and ministry of Jesus Christ and what he means to us. This first lesson, and really the first two lessons, reveal a foundation of the plan of God and really the entire world for the birth and the ministry of Christ, and therefore the writing of the New Testament. That word in Galatians 4:4, where it says in the fullness of time, that word time is written in the Greek is kairos, which is Greek for time. Now there are two words in Greek for time. One is chronos, and that is a time that can be measured or counted like a clock or a calendar. But kairos time is the fitting moment. It's the opportune time. So what God was saying was that when Jesus came, and therefore the New Testament telling the story of Christ, it was in the fullness of time. It was the fitting moment. It was the opportune time, not just for Christ coming, but God had laid the foundation in the whole world, in the background, in the setting, politically, culturally, religiously. Everything had kind of led up to that point where the ministry of Jesus could come forward and the gospel be spread, and the New Testament then be able to share that gospel. Mark 1:15, even the first chapter of Mark even says, when the time is fulfilled, the kingdom of God is at hand. At the right time, God sent forth his Son. At the right time, the kingdom came. And so it is in this time. The New Testament also was put together. God planned it, God enabled it, and God revealed it for us today even to know about this. God was the author, and he is the one who works through each one of the writers of the New Testament. And it wasn't done by happenstance. It wasn't done by coincidence. It was done in the kairos time of God. In the most fitting moment, in the opportune time, God sent his Son, and the words that were written in the New Testament were shared for not only the people of that day, but to us and throughout time. I pray that you'll receive something during this class. Again, if you have any questions, anything you need to know, please feel free to contact me. I'm here for you. The staff in Cleveland is here for you. We want to be a blessing to you, and I pray that this is just one of the steps in a long educational journey for you. God bless you. May the Spirit of the Lord go with you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord bless you and show you favor and give you peace.